So you're watching, you're seeing me flip this coin. Call it somebody?
Heads.
Heads, she called.
She can call
Heads.
All right.
You speak first, you
Okay.
get the last word.
Okay.
All
How long do you
right.
want us to spend for opening?
Well, what's going to happen is I'll speak for like 1 or 2 minutes just to get us going, right? And you're going to speak first, you get 3 minutes. Vesta, she's our clock, our timekeeper. You got to be in a spot where they can both see you real easy, and then you'll speak. 3 minutes. And then we're going to have questions that'll be brought up to us. I would have preferred you just get to raise your hand and say something, but they want it on cards because we are recording this and we want to make sure that everybody has their name said and can be referred to correctly and stuff. Okay? The cards are right there. Cards are right there. As you came in, there's cards to write down your questions. All right. Welcome to Roseland, folks. It's 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 6th of October, 2016. A very important election is ahead of us. This tonight is a supervisorial forum, not necessarily a debate. It's about Roseland and people from Roseland asking questions about how these two candidates might help in Roseland. We have Lynda Hopkins on my right. We have Noreen Evans on my left. That doesn't mean their political stature, okay? This is all wide open. Roseland is a very inviting place. I got my allied hat on for this. We're all allied to get a better Roseland out of this, all right? So the rules of this are there's going to be an introduction statement, first by Ms. Evans for 3 minutes, then by Ms. Hopkins for 3 minutes. Then we're going to take some questions that have been given to us. I'll try to keep the question as I read it, or the person asks it. I'll ask their name, they'll stand up, tell us their question about Roseland and Roseland issues, and it'll be less than a minute. And each of the candidates will get a minute to answer. And it'll alternate, one first, then the next one first. Got to be really fair about this. It's a really fun time. It's going to be a better Roseland, I think, in the future. So, are we ready to go? Everybody understands? Ms. Hopkins will have the last word. It's going to be a nice time now. I take the hat off, but the glare from the lights will blind you all. So here we go now. Ms. Evans is going to give us her introductory statement on how she's going to make Roseland better if she's the 5th District Supervisor in 2017. Esto es muy importante. Estas personas aquí no hablar inglés. Everybody in here understands English right now? Okay, our translator's going to wait here unless somebody tells them they need to hear it in Spanish. Okay?
All right. Well, is this on?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all very much for coming here tonight. It's a very important election in November. This will be for the 5th District Supervisor, which is often the swing vote on a lot of different issues for the county. The 5th District goes from the southwest part of Santa Rosa through Sebastopol, including all of the lower Russian River communities and all of the coast. It's a very diverse and geographically large district. I wanted to start out this evening by telling you just a little bit about myself personally. I have lived in Sonoma County since 1982, so for 34 years. All 3 of my children were born and raised here. I am a lifelong Californian, and I discovered my purpose in life at a very young age. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, my parents took me to see the film To Kill a Mockingbird. And if you remember that film, it's about a lawyer, a Caucasian lawyer, living in the Deep South, who was assigned by his local judge to defend a black man who had been wrongfully accused of raping a white woman. I saw that film, and I decided I wanted to be a lawyer just like Atticus Finch. And I immediately announced to the whole world, that's what I want to do. And because it was the early 1960s, the response came back to me, you can't do that, you're a girl. My parents, however, always believed in me. And my father was a drill instructor in the United States Marine Corps. And he taught me, you can do anything you set your mind to. Never, ever give up. So I took him at his word, and I was the first girl in my family to ever go to college. Because my family didn't have the resources to put me through college, I had to work my way through. I was the first girl in my family to ever go to law school. First person, in fact, to ever get a graduate degree. And because my family couldn't afford to put me through law school, I put myself through. My purpose in life, both in becoming a lawyer and in becoming a public servant, has never changed and never wavered. I went into public service, and I have been a planning commissioner for the city of Santa Rosa, a council member for the city of Santa Rosa. I have been your assembly member and your senator. And my purpose has always been to advocate for people who can't advocate for themselves. And that's why, as your state legislator, I worked with ALMAS to provide workplace protections for domestic workers. I worked with the UFW to bring overtime for farm workers. And I'm happy to announce today, I got the endorsement of the UFW in this campaign. I'm very pleased to have that. And my purpose in running for supervisor is exactly the same. It's to advocate for you. And I have done that for many years. When Roseland Elementary School couldn't open its doors because it didn't have the sidewalks and the pedestrian improvements it needed, I went to bat and I got money to make those improvements so the school could open on time.
Thank you, Ms. Evans. It's now time for Ms. Hopkins.
All right. Since I know we only have an hour here, I will spend my 3 minutes talking about my vision for the Roseland community. I had an opportunity today to take a little bit of a break from campaigning, and a friend had invited me to attend a luncheon where John Lewis and Nancy Pelosi were presenting. And they said words that I thought were very fitting when it comes to the Roseland community. John Lewis said, "We are one people, one family living in the same house." And this is a man who went to jail 24 times for civil rights in the 1960s. Nancy Pelosi said, "Our values unify us. I see myself as a weaver weaving together all of these diverse fibers in our society. We are only strong if we respect the differences between us." The strength in Roseland lies in its diversity. And when I think about the Declaration of Independence, which starts with, as we all know, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Well, there's a little bit of a problem with it just being men, but broadening that out to men and women, while we may be created equally, we do not have equal opportunity in Sonoma County. And the Portrait of Sonoma County, which was released in 2014, shows that. We have in Southwest Santa Rosa areas where people will face shortened life expectancies, where people will not achieve the educational attainment that they will in Eastern Santa Rosa or in Sebastopol, and we need to change that. We need to invest in opportunities in Roseland. And by what I mean by opportunities, we need to invest in early childhood education. We need to make sure that children who are born in Sonoma County all have the building blocks that they need to achieve their dreams. And really, it starts even before early childhood education. It actually starts with affordable childcare so that moms can afford to go to work or to pursue higher education, and so that kids have access to safe, developmentally appropriate places to raise their children. We also need to work with fantastic nonprofit organizations like 10,000 Degrees to make sure that students have the support network they see to matriculate into college. And we need to work with Schools of Hope and some of the other fantastic nonprofit organizations to support children on that journey. Right now, today, 53% of the children in Sonoma County fail to read at a 3rd grade level. And if you don't read in 3rd grade at a 3rd grade level, you are 4 times less likely to graduate from high school. I really want to invest in the youth of Roseland. We also need to work on investing in the parks in Roseland, which hopefully Carol Hart will help with if we pass the initiative that she is working to pass. Check all of your seats and read that through. When you look at Roseland versus, say, the city of Sebastopol, in the city of Sebastopol, children can walk to any one of 3 city parks. They have access to a pool, they have access to playgrounds, they have access to open spaces. These are things that the residents of Roseland need and that we need to work on and invest in as a community. And that is what I would like to do. I would like to listen to the residents of Roseland, and I have spent the past 6 months of my campaign walking precincts here, knocking on doors, introducing myself to every single business owner on Sebastopol Road so that I can work hard for you and bring your issues to the Board of Supervisors.
We appreciate both of those opening statements.